Hooverr, what's 4 times 5?
I'm like, I almost just said 16. 20.
It's 20?
20! Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome back to the that's so stupid because that bit should have actually been, I should have looked at what number episode this would be because I don't even know. And I should have been like, this would be 34. So I should have been like, what's
9 plus 10? 34?
9 plus.
You stupid. No, I'm not.
That's actually, let's run that from the back. Like that didn't just happen.
Okay.
Hooverr, what's 10 plus 9?
34?
Exactly. Welcome back to the 34th episode of the COOLDOG Podcast.
Yay! We're back. And we have sponsors.
We do. This episode is sponsored by the U.S. military. The U.S. military is one of the biggest employers in the United States of America. And not only do you get to earn money helping your country, you also get to make your mom feel proud. Mm-hmm. Join the U.S. military today at
military.gov/COOLDOG. And if you sign up with our promo code, you get an extra ration of food when you first get deployed. So if you want that extra meal, go ahead.
I heard they're gonna put a little COOLDOG logo on it. You're gonna feel real good when you're in the middle of a battlefield.
I know, when your friends become nothing but blood and bones, you'll see that COOLDOG logo on the fucking tank storming the fucking enemy. You know, you'll think to yourself, this is okay.
I feel like this is actually the perfect time to segue into this because we have to get it out of the way. Mm-hmm. It happened. We saw Dream's face. It's really crazy. I would say really the main event of the day was Stonpa.
Dude, I don't know like what happens when Stonpa gets more viewers, but like he turns into like a drug addict. Like it's his drug. Like he like the more numbers he sees, like the higher number he sees, like he like gets fueled this energy and like it's a little bit terrifying to witness, but now it's like full force. It's
very scary.
And now everyone sees it.
There was a clip of him that went viral of him jumping around. Many compared it to I saw quotes that said, "Oh, a monkey when it gets a banana." That's what they compared Stonpa to.
Literally, I mean, it's insane.
His reaction to the face reveal, and I was there when it happened. I got to say, I'm proud to say that I was there when that moment happened. Apparently, I don't like. By Stonepa's words, it's like he's a fucking A-list celebrity now. Apparently, everyone's coming up to him. Like he's been talking about it like, oh, my life has changed forever. I'm gonna be honest, like, is that real or is he like hallucinating? Like, what is happening?
I'm not gonna lie, like I saw his tweet where he said like he had 6 people like recognize him, and I was gonna respond like me when I lie, but I was like, I don't think Stonpa is lying, but it is just kind of crazy.
I don't think he's lying, but I think the image of that is really, really funny. He goes to school and he's this famous now. He got recognized by 6 people in one day.
He's like fucking Peter Parker getting revealed as Spider-Man. He's like, "Hey, you're the guy. You're the fucking 37-year-old Dream guy." And he's like, "You jumped around like a little monkey when he showed his face, right?" And he's like, "Oh yeah."
You know, the craziest thing is it was JHB that really made it all blow up and go viral because he's the one that replied to Dream with it, I guess. And I took part in the banter. I put myself in the middle of it, as I like to do. And I replied to the clip of Stonpa saying, men at his age used to go to war and die.
That is true. Like, the imagination of, like, a guy just going to war at, like, 21 and then seeing the future of, like, a fucking 21-year-old kid fucking jumping up and down for a grown man to, like, show his face is insane.
No, it is. It's literally a kind of like a dystopia is what we're in the middle of right now.
Oh yeah.
And people found my tweet and they there's a lot of really good replies on this. I haven't actually, since I went to sleep last night, it's gotten even more replies of people that think I'm being like serious. People that think I don't know who Stonpa is and I'm like I'm calling him feminine for caring about Dream.
You should be calling him feminine for his damn long hair. He looks like a girl.
Very true.
He looks like
very true. Hoover's always coming through with the facts. Can we all acknowledge that? On COOLDOG, Hoover's the fact guy. He, I do the comedic relief. Hooverr comes in with the well-researched facts. Mm-hmm. One of them being that Stonpa has long hair.
He has long hair. And you know who also has long hair? Girls. That's a fact. So then you can compare the
That
two.
is true.
Therefore, Stompa kind of looks like a girl. So
What do you think about girls?
I think they're cool. I think they're awesome. I think they're. I was gonna say I think they're valuable, but then I was like, no, that sounds. But like now people are gonna be like, you're thinking as women as objects. No, I think they're valuable in society. I think they play a bigger part than men, and I think they deserve more credit. So that's my stance.
Yeah, I agree with you. Honestly, I think women are they're really funny.
Mm-hmm.
They smell nice.
Oh yeah, they definitely do.
They're hella chill sometimes.
They don't poop or fart, so like you don't have to clean up their mess.
Dude.
You don't have to always be cleaning up their poop like you do men. You know, it's great.
That's actually the worst part. Like, just like casually looking back at. Sorry, I got my plane ticket in my pocket. Apparently, I didn't know. I didn't know I was going anywhere.
You going to Florida? Where are you going?
Yeah. I was actually invited.
Oh!
I was supposed to be in the picture. The picture reveal of George Sapnap Dream. I was supposed to be in that.
You should like Photoshop yourself in it and be like, "Hey guys, look who made it! Hey, I'm here!" And everyone be like, "What? What the hell? He finally made it! Can't believe it."
Oh man, what was I gonna say? I was gonna like make a great point until I reached into my pocket and found a piece of debris.
Men making messes, girls don't poop or fart.
Oh yeah, in the Austin house, it was like a goddamn horse stable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
especially downstairs when Nick goes to get food at night, he just lets it all out in the middle of the floor, and then you got to go down in the morning and be like, oh, all right, time to clean this up.
I know it's weird because it's very primal. Where like one time I like caught Nick high making a snack, and then I'm like, oh, what is he doing? And I was just like watching him from like the upstairs area. And I saw him lay a turd, and then he like kicked up. He laid a turd on the ground, and then he started kicking it like a little cat, like trying to cover it up in like kitty litter. And he just like walked off like as if he blew his nose and threw a tissue away. Like he did not blink once about it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, this is how we're living.
That's why Nick has garnered so much respect, though. It's because he embraces his primal instincts. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this might be an unpopular opinion. When I need to go to the bathroom to do a number 2. I usually just like go to the bathroom and like I'm gonna be honest, like I'll even wipe my butt.
Really? You wipe your butt sometimes?
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. I literally, I'll do it.
I can't, man. I can't do that. I mean, it's I don't know. Like, I don't want to come off like conspiracy theorist shit, but I just feel like wiping is kind of like liberal agenda stuff, and I feel like, I mean, like you got to think about like the people that came before us. Were they using toilet paper? I don't think so. So like, I think we're fine. I mean, I just kind of, I just use my hand. Like, I go down there, I get what's needed. I'm a hunter gatherer, and I clean up.
That's like the whole old saying: "Born to shit, forced to wipe."
Exactly. Get that fucking tat on my chest, man.
When I was 16, I saw this Microsoft Paint drawing that somebody had done, where it was someone showing an alternate way to use toilet paper. And it was like they had. It's actually kind of hard to describe it. So let me think about this for a second.
Okay.
So they were like pulling on the whole roll at once. It was like all coming off, but it was like they were pulling it over their back and it was going through their ass crack.
Oh,
and then it would like.
I think I know what you're talking about. Okay, so like, I'll do like a. So was it like behind, and then they're like pulling it like through this way, or like like you did like the overhead?
Overhead. I think what it might be, honestly, is that they stood in front of the roll of toilet paper so that it kind of like went under their area here,
yeah,
and then they pulled it over their head.
But I feel like, wouldn't you just want to like go underneath rather than having to go all the way over and then through? Like, I feel like that would be like you'd get poop in your hair if it like you had to go back out. I feel like it'd be.
That's actually a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
Because the poop could get in your hair, and like that'd be.
That's
gross.
a little food for thought, honestly, for whoever designed that.
That man was Jeffrey Bezos.
That's why he's rich and we aren't.
I know, and it's fucking.
Rich people make moves. Poor people make poops.
That is actually really true, man. I think that's. Did you get that off like a fucking Tumblr website? Like, what was that?
No, I came up with that.
Oh, dude, you got to patent that. You got to get that copywritten.
I literally will. Like, don't even try me.
I'm not trying you, man. I'm just saying that's a good idea. I'm not trying you.
But yeah, I got like a bunch of replies on this one tweet where I said Stonepug should go to war and die. Or I didn't say that. I said men used. I didn't really say anything, honestly. I was just bringing up history facts.
No, yeah, you just laid down the facts.
I like trivia. I thought this was a good place to insert some trivia and create some conversation, but people thought it was all about Stonepug for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which
They
is
just
kind of
make it
annoying.
about him all the time, and it's like the world doesn't revolve around Stonepug. It doesn't.
And then someone replied to me and said, "What's your point? Do you want everyone to be constantly at war or something? Or are you just jealous of him that you tried glorifying war to make your point?"
What? Now I gotta like see the actual replies to your tweet because it's like what profile picture does that person have?
And it has a Sadie. It's like that person. I think it's the person that was in the Taylor Swift music video.
No way.
Sadie whatever.
Sink?
Sadie, what's her face? Yeah.
Oh, it is.
They have 2 followers.
I thought you were saying it was
no
Sadie
disrespect.
Sink.
If you have 2 followers, I really like. I actually do mean this with disrespect. I guess kind of. If you have 2 followers, like your opinion does not matter.
No, I used to think this like genuinely, and I'm like, I don't exactly have this in the forefront of my brain when I like look at people's following account, but like if you have this also goes on really rude. If you have like 10 followers, then like why are you even tweeting?
Oh my god.
And it's not like because of the followers, it's because I once had that many followers and I know that like you're putting it into the void. But like at the same time, I have to like give you props to like, if you truly have like something to say, you gotta say it. Like I can understand like replying because anyone can see your reply. But like actually like tweeting with like 4 followers, it's like that's crazy. I get my hat off to you, but
The thing about it is I think what I really think is I don't understand what your motive is because it's not hard to get like 20 followers. It's really not hard.
It's not.
You go to a little place, you do a little follow for follow. All of a sudden, you have 20 beautiful mutuals who will do anything for you. They'll die for you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have like 2 followers, it just makes me confused as to because there's the possible theory that you are on Twitter for yourself, which is like that's insane. You should go to therapy.
Yeah, you shouldn't just be tweeting into the void. There are people you can talk to that can help you out with problems if you are tweeting about like nonsense to like a fucking bot account and like 3 other people that know you from school.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's the main problem with it is that people with 2 followers, they're too confident. They're in your replies. They're like, "Oh, die." You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, dude, nobody wants you to die because nobody knows you. Okay, try being famous, and then people will tell you to die because there's a lot of people on you. So
try being a fucking international celebrity like us, man.
Yeah, I'm like Stonepug. I can't walk anywhere anymore. I go outside and 5 neighbors stop me on the street and they go, "Hey, hold on a second. Are you Hooverr?"
"Hey, COOLDOG."
I'm like, "Hey, you're from COOLDOG, right?" I'm like, hey, what's up? Hey. And then I got like, there's like paparazzi and shit.
That's really how I feel every time I see like a family member because COOLDOG is like the only media that I do that they have access to because none of them are awake at like 5 a.m. so they'll never catch a stream. But COOLDOG, it's always here. So they'll watch COOLDOG and they'll be like, "Oh, you said this thing.
Oh my God.
That's kind of interesting." I'm like, "You don't know me, all right? You don't know me, fucking great Aunt Bertha. You don't know who I am."
You know Aksel, but you don't know Aksually. And that's like
Exactly.
I genuinely think that's something that like some even of my family members don't understand is like, I'm jacked to them. I'm not like Hooverr, like, hey, I'm going to make jokes about whatever on fucking Twitter and Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
So then like whenever they're like, hey, like, can I check out your stuff? I'm always just like, no. I'm like, don't. Like, please don't. You can follow me on Instagram. Like, I just post funny photos on there, but like anything else, I don't want you seeing.
I have this problem where a lot of my family members for some reason are incapable of thinking that I am capable of being sarcastic. So then I'll say something on COOLDOG and they'll be like, why'd you say that? That's kind of weird that you said that. And I'm like, that was like the most obvious sarcasm I think I've ever put on this earth.
Yeah.
On these lands that I've blessed this. But I think that's good that you made that point because people need to realize that, Hoover's kind of like the funny guy. Jack is the tender little sweetheart.
Exactly. I have a sweet side and a sour side. I'm like a Sour Patch Kid.
Am I talking to Jack or am I talking to Hooverr right now?
You're talking to Jack Hooverr, man. You're talking to the man, the myth, the legend. All right.
I'm talking to the Two-Face.
Exactly. I wear 2 masks at one time, kind of like Dream, and how he took his off and face revealed.
He took his off, and the reaction was people said he's white.
Yeah, I don't know like why actually people were assuming he was going to like be a model. Like it's kind of like insane to assume like a guy that like does gaming videos is just going to be like, hey, I was a Gucci model once, but he's just like a normal white dude. Like
that's the scariest thing. That's why I got my face reveal over with as soon as possible, because when people start developing their own image of you, no matter what you look like, they will be disappointed.
Yeah, because it's just like you build up this like fantasy in your brain that like, oh, I bet like I remember people were like, he's gonna look like Chris Evans and he's gonna look like Captain America. And I was like, why are you setting yourself up to like fail? Like he could look kind of like him, but people are still gonna like compare him to like 15 other like cartoon characters when he face reveals. Like
I'm gonna be honest, if he looked like Chris Evans, that would be the funniest thing ever.
What if he was?
If he took that mask off and it's just a guy that looks pretty much exactly like Chris Evans, I would have fucking died laughing right there.
I mean, I kind of wish it happened, but now it's just like he looks like a white dude.
Yeah.
It's sad.
You know, and I think we both have thought about this sentiment because I saw you talking about it somewhere. I think you tweeted about it on your all, and I said it in like a Prezzo chat or something where I was like, we both were like, oh, imagine if he looked like us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, imagine if after all this time he did it. Like, I just love the idea of him being me because he does a face reveal and it's just this like dude that is like kind of questionable. Like he could be 30. Mm-hmm. His hairline is receding. He's got like fucking -20 glasses. Like, I think that would be earth shattering. I think I would challenge every beauty standard on earth and I would actually change the world.
I think, and then it would even be crazier if when he did the face reveal, he had like your exact setup in the background too. Like you see, like he has like the fucking, like the couch and then like a shelf, and you're like, what the hell?
It's like that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal where there's 2 of them in the movie.
Which one's
there's
that?
2 Jake Gyllenhaals. It's a Denis Villeneuve movie, and I don't remember what it's called. Imposter, maybe? No,
Imposter?
That's just Among Us. That's just, I don't think that's what it's called at all.
Us.
But somebody will know. Somebody will. Many of our millions of listeners will know. But okay, so the point I was trying to get to from the army days to my tweet to people shaming Stompa for being a 35-year-old dream stan.
Which is
I'm gonna
not
be honest,
bad.
guys. It's not bad, and I'm gonna be fully honest. We're not shaming the right person here. Okay, in the mess of all this discourse, I think everyone kind of missed that Hassan. What the hell was happening with that guy, dude? The whole day. I don't know if you saw his Twitter, man.
No, I did not.
This shit was crazy. This motherfucker is actually unironically pushing 30. And he was tweeting all day. He was like, oh, dude, I invited Bryce Hall over for Dream's face reveal. He kept posting selfies with Carl Jacobs. He's like, dude, I'm waiting for Dream's face reveal. He took a call from Dream. He was like, oh, I can't wait to see Dream's face. And I just want to say, right, the only reason why I care about this is because I think like during the whole like drama that was happening on Twitch, he was on, and this is the most actual thing ever because I contradict like myself like this all the time too. He was on a stream saying, oh, I don't post a lot of things on my main because I have people like AOC following me. So obviously I don't want them to see that shit. But then today, or like yesterday, the whole day, he was just on that shit being like, Dream's face reveal, guys. Dream's face reveal. AOC probably muted his ass after yesterday, man.
Dude, she probably had him muted. Like, he's tweeted about so much other random fucking shit that does not matter. Like, if I was AOC, I would have had him muted since I fucking first followed him. Like, it is like kind of crazy that like he's so considerate of the fact that like, oh, AOC of all people might be seeing my fucking tweet when it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, are you going to tweet on your alt with fucking 500 million other followers? Like, I don't think it really matters at that point when you have like an alt that's like insanely big. Like, it's bound to be.
You know what that's like? That's like back in 2018 when we started getting big follows for the first time. Like people that we used to watch would follow us, and then all of us would get a little embarrassed to tweet.
I know that was like me with Anthony Padilla. Like Anthony Padilla still follows me, And like I remember like I would tweet. I think it was because like I tweeted about Smosh or like the Assassin's Creed rap, and then like every single moment that I was tweeting like a week after, I was like, Anthony Padilla might see this, and I don't want to like wake up one day and realize that he's unfollowed me because of what I tweeted. But now it's like I don't care at all because I feel like all these people just have me muted, or they don't see. A lot of people just don't see because I don't really even tweet that much. But now
I'm like convinced like half the cool people that followed me, they just immediately muted me.
Yeah, but now, yesterday was like actually insane with the amount of people that were on Twitter. Like I tweeted I tweet out the photo of me that I always tweet out, and that got 12K likes just because
I saw that.
And I was like, well, like I don't even understand why. Like half these people are not here; they're not there. Like these are not followers of mine, and it's just because like everyone's just on Twitter. Everyone was just on Twitter at once, and like you could have tweeted like anything at all, and people were like, "Here's 5K likes, go nuts."
Dude, literally, like the amount of likes tweets were getting in like the first minute or two was insane.
Dude, I got 1K in 1 minute, and I was like, "Where were you all?" I was like, "These people are real. These people are on my account." Like, I tweet out my stream, and it gets fucking 2 likes and a downvote, but like, I tweet out anything else, it's like, "Hey, I'm here now." But it was crazy yesterday.
I literally relate to that like religiously. It's like you know what I think what it was people coming back that used to like be really active during quarantine, and it like this face reveal it brought them back for a day. They were like, oh, because I'm not gonna lie, man. I tweeted a couple things, and in the replies, I saw names that I hadn't seen in goddamn years. It felt like I was like, what the hell? I forgot that this is a name that I've ever even registered in my brain.
Dude, same with the fucking people that were liking my tweets. Like Fit MC liked my tweet. I was like,
dude,
I missed you.
I got a Fit MC like too.
Hey, dude, we're in.
We are in, dude. Fit MC is such a funny guy. I love him.
I love Fit MC.
I have so much respect for Fit MC because we stayed at the same Airbnb 3 years ago, and he sees that as like us being brothers for life, and it's literally the most endearing, sweetest thing ever. Because every time, like when he saw me at Creator Clash or when he saw me at TwitchCon, he always comes up to me and just gives me this hug, and he's like, "Oh man, it's so great to see you again." And I'm like, and then he has that beautiful beard, and I tickle it a little bit, and I get my hand up in there,
and you're like, "Hey."
I stroke it a little bit, and then he purrs a little bit too.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know, right? It's so
like
cute that men aren't afraid to, feel that way.
Feel submissive and feel vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A little,
I don't know what I was saying with that one.
I think we just violated Fit MC on an extreme level.
Fit MC, we love you. I love you to death, Fit MC. COOLDOG.
I love him.
This one's for you.
We love bald men.
We do. We do love bald men. Sean Evans, that's another goat.
Yeah. Dude, Sean Evans is a goat.
Well, what do you mean by that? A goat. I think people say the goat, like the greatest of all time. That's what I meant. Like the goat.
The goat, yeah.
You said goat.
Behind you, the little SpongeBob window thing, it looks like the Estonian flag because it's blue, black, and white. That's what it looks like on the camera.
I was gonna say, like, it's not blue, black, and white, but now I'm looking at it in the fucking viewfinder. I can kind of see that. It's because SpongeBob is an avid Estonian person.
Bikini Bottom is like in the Baltic Sea, right off the shore of Estonia.
Really? I never would have guessed that.
That's canon.
Have you ever been there? Have you ever seen Squidward?
I wish. I went looking for it, and all I found was like a wreckage of a ship. So,
Blue Lagoon.
As an old pirate ship, an old pirate tale. A pirate spawned in, gave me a mission.
Dude, why did the fucking pirates hide treasure? Like, what was up with that?
Did they actually do that, or was that like a lie?
I don't know. Like, I actually don't know if that was like an actual thing that ever happened, or if they actually had maps. But like, it's a weird thing to just make up on the spot if it wasn't real. Like, these pirates hid treasure and had a map for it.
Why are people always lying about pirates?
Because pirates are cool to people. Like, oh, look at pirates, and what the fuck they like go on the 7 seas and they fucking like get a bunch of gold. That's literally what people think they just go on the 7 seas to get gold, and like they just like drink beer and have fun. That's a pirate life.
Nobody likes to answer the question of where did they get the gold from. They think they found the gold from some like really gracious like leprechaun that was like, hey, Yes, take my gold.
Yeah. It's like they're not mining
They
the gold.
stole it.
They're not mining it. They're stealing it from people. They probably went to like a fucking village, ransacked it, and stole all their gold. But then
pirates were like kind of like the Vikings of the areas where Vikings didn't operate.
Yeah. They're like, wait, Vikings versus pirates. Who do you think would win?
Vikings versus pirates. I got to put my money on Vikings.
Yeah. I was going to say, as immediately as I said, I'm like, well, pirates, like, in my mind, for some reason, I'm like, well, pirates have like that one gun. You know what I mean? Like, I just remember because of fucking, what is that game called?
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. They have that one gun where you can go, you can shoot. But like, I was like, no. Like,
it takes like fucking 40 minutes to reload.
Yeah, exactly. Vikings are like, I just imagine them all being like Canute. Like these like massive fucking heavyweights that just can like take down anyone.
That was actually such a funny idea if they all literally had like a bodybuilder's body.
And all this talk like Canute and they're like, we're going to go to get some gold. I don't know if they got gold. I don't know if Vikings ever got gold. I don't know what they did.
I don't know if there was any fucking gold in Northern Europe at that point, honestly. I think what they would steal was like bones and bone marrow. That's what they would steal.
Why the bones though? Like I get that like they did like I remember hearing in class about the awful shit they would do to like villages and like just like completely ransack what they were like. These people would just be like living, having fun, and be like, "Oh, Vikings are coming. We're all dead, and everything's burned, and everything's gone."
There was nothing else to take besides like meat and potatoes.
That's actually fucked. They're doing all that for meat and potatoes. That's awful.
Literally, like I would say that most of if you look at Estonian history, it's literally like Estonian cuisine is really just dog shit because we had nothing but meat and potatoes. That's literally like sometimes mama would boil the potatoes a little longer so they would be softer, and that would be like your little sweet treat.
Wow.
That would make you feel all good.
And then meanwhile, Americans are all privileged, and it's like, I want a fucking Kit Kat for dessert.
What do you think about the era that we have been born into? Do you think it's like, do you wish you were born in a different time in the future or in the past, maybe?
I'm not gonna lie, like genuinely, this is like, it is even kind of embarrassing to admit even now. But like, I remember like early teenage years, I used to be like that kid where I was like, I was born the wrong generation. Where I was like, I wish I could be born in like 1980s, live in the 90s or live in the 80s as like a teen and like do all that shit. But then I realize now, like, I feel like we are on path to be like probably the worst human beings on planet Earth ever. But we also have like insane technology where I'm like, I don't know if I could, like, it's sad, but like, I don't know what I would do without an iPhone. Like the fact that like my mom was just driving around like at night, like with her parents exactly knowing when she's going to get back and like not having anything to like communicate with on the spot. And you have to like stop for a fucking telephone pole to talk to anybody. It's like
a lot of serial killers during that time.
Yeah. And like, if you were, dude, serial killers got away with anything back then. Cause like nobody had like security cameras. There weren't any like nobody had TikTok. If like now it's like, I see fucking 500 crimes a day on New York City TikTok. And like the fucking crime is like already shut and closed by like the next morning. But like now, or like back in the day, like these serial killers could just get away with like fucking kill streaks and nobody would care. Because they just didn't know.
I guess it's kind of interesting to think about, right? Just the idea of not having internet. I will say, I think this is like the funniest people I've ever been.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've watched like old interviews, like old like fucking Johnny Carson interviews, and it's like if you put me back in that era, I would be like one of the funniest comedians. Because like I have knowledge that these people just did not have access to. It's so easy. It was so easy to go on like a talk show back then and just farm omegalols. Like it was so easy.
Yeah, like back then all they talked about was like their wife and fucking like daily life things. Like, oh, my wife, like Ronnie Dangerfield, like you know who that guy is? Like he just fucking would go on Johnny Carson and be like, my wife says she hates me, and then people would be like, he hates his wife. His wife hates him, and then he would just keep doing that for like 30 minutes, and everyone would be like, oh, I'm gonna go now. See you later. But like I feel like now with technology and like the internet, it's like there's so many different like subgenres of comedy, and like you can see on so many different like platforms and shit, like the amount of different like comedic tastes. And I feel like after seeing so many people like have such like different taste in comedy or like different approaches to comedy. It's like you can just like pick up little bits and pieces, and if you just fucking talk to like a normal person now with it, it's like they think it's hilarious. But even back dude, back then it's like if we said half the jokes that we were saying on this podcast now, it's like you'd be like, this guy's out of this world, he's crazy, like how is he thinking of this? But I don't know if like okay, what would you think we would be doing if it was realistically we were born, let's say like 1980 on a dot. So like we're 16 in 1996. Or no, let's say actually let's say like 75 and then we're like in our 20s in the 90s, right? What do you think we would be doing? Like what do you think our job would be?
That's a great question. I would be in a fresh new Estonia, an Estonia that just regained independence. Estonia in the 90s was rough, man. Motherfuckers were like bombing buildings and shit. It was crazy.
Damn.
Like this was like Estonia when like nowadays, you know, people just don't have the drive to do that anymore. Nobody cares enough. But back then, there was like fucking mafia and shit. Motherfuckers were blowing up shit, murder. There was like 3 serial killers. It was crazy.
Dude,
like I would have been dead probably.
Oh my god. That would have been awful. I was gonna say, like, this is such a dumb thought, but like back, like, I guess like I don't even know when pirates were around technically, but like the mafia was like America's pirates in a way when you think about it. Like they just did crime and they got a lot of money, and people were like, they're kind of cool.
Your pirates were Italian, isn't that funny?
Yeah, I dude, fucking. That's what I wish. I wish I was like born in the 90s or born in 70s, raised in the 80s and 90s, and like I had a super Italian family. Because then my life would be like The Sopranos or some shit, and I'd just be like, I'd be like probably working at some like fucking Italian like market, like fucking cutting meat all day or like stocking shelves. You kind of do have the energy of someone that's a part of the mob. You're like the funny guy in the mob. Everyone laughs at you, like, hey.
And then you get killed eventually. Eventually, they kill you.
I say like a joke that's too out of pocket, and they fucking slice my neck open like a fucking turkey.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're, oh, Tony, you're looking mighty bald today, and you're dead.
I'm like, you're looking mighty bald today. I'm like, hey, look at this guy, he's bald as hell, and then they fucking shake me 5 times, and I'm just down. My body's never seen again.
I mean, Mafia nowadays is just, they're a bunch of cowards, aren't they?
Oh. Can you imagine I get whacked by the mob or whacked by the Mafia for being like, hey, you cowards, where you at nowadays? Even though they're just like probably under the fucking underground now.
I mean, there was that one bozo, like, because I know the 7 families in New York City, they exist and they still do crime and they still bring in money, just nowhere near as much as they used to. But I mean, there was that one guy.
I know what you're about to say.
The guy that got like taken out by the 4chan dude.
That's exactly what I was thinking about. I was like, I forget the exact context, but I remember that. What was it like? That dude was like piecing together the shit, or like was he just like crazy and he killed him? I don't even remember.
I'm gonna pull up an article about this.
Jamie,
hold on. 4chan Mafia.
4chan. Dude, that should be the COOLDOG fan base name, the 4chan Mafia. Join the 4chan Mafia today.
Oh yeah. Okay. It was just okay. So the thing is, right? The guy that did this, the guy that did this was just a little bit crazy. I think he went, obviously, as most people do when they go on 4chan, they went a bit too far down the rabbit hole. It was the whole like, I think he was into QAnon.
Oh. That's a good one to go down.
It was oh yeah, killer says he murdered reputed mafia boss to protect Trump. Like, what does that even mean?
Because that guy chilling in his home and like fucking whatever he was going to take down Trump.
As if the fucking mafia in its state today is going to do anything to the president. This ain't the goddamn 60s, you know?
I know, like, if they could get away with that in the 60s, now it's like, no. Like, this is not going to happen. They're going to fucking, like, deploy, like, a $5 million, like, army SWAT team to, like, fucking kill all of them. like back then they were the only. I feel like back then I just assumed like they were the only ones that had like Tommy guns and like weapons. Like back then, like I just imagined the fucking policeman with the club. But like now it's like they're fucking decked out.
The biggest problem is that anyone that goes against the U.S., they have one big problem to deal with, and that's drones. All right, the U.S. has drones. They're gonna drone bomb the shit out of the mafia if they overstep their boundaries.
Can you imagine, like, Trump's like, the mafia are onto me. Send in the drones. And the fucking drones just get sent down in the fucking sky and they take out all the fucking mafia. Just like that.
In the meanwhile, they've destroyed like half of New York City. They've like fucking blown up half of Manhattan.
The fucking guy's whole like suburbs is fucking torn to shreds in flames. He's like, well, he's gone now. Good thing they can't get the president anymore.
Anyway, speaking of the mafia, Ned Fulmer. Ned Fulmer.
That is a mafia name. Like, if I learned about Ned
the Try
Fulmer,
Guys are the mob.
Oh my god, they are. Who do you think's the most
Try
dangerous?
Guys? They're. I think Keith is the most dangerous.
Yeah, he's tall.
He's tall and he looks goofy, but he's packing a punch.
He's true. You'd fucking like clobber some dudes, and then
he's got some lethal.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that fucking Ned Fulmer shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
would you ever cheat on your wife?
Huh? That's a good question. Let me think on that for a second. Actually, no, I don't. So.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm glad we agree on this. I wouldn't.
Okay, that's good. But can you imagine?
I think it's bad.
Can you imagine like
cheating on your wife?
Well, no, like in this context, right? Like it comes like we're okay. COOLDOG is somehow 20 years down the line. We're on episode like 2000, and like I cheat on my wife, and then it's like okay. Well, now COOLDOG's over. Like, what would you do? Like, what would you do if, like, I cheated on my wife and it's like, okay, I gotta make like a statement now that like Hoover's off the podcast because he cheated on his wife.
I would. Here's what I would do, right? And this is what the Try Guys should have done. Mm-hmm. And I think they blew a massive opportunity here. I would replace you with your wife. Your ex-wife.
That's actually like that's a power move. I'm surprised.
And the first episode would be dedicated to all things Hooverr. We just, where I kind of interview her. I'm like, so what was the most annoying thing about being married to Hooverr? And then
she's like, he would fart all the time and he would smell it. Like, I don't know. The cheating would be.
Would you fart before marriage?
That dude, I feel like. Can you imagine like living like a 1-year relationship with somebody and you just haven't farted in front of them until like you get married?
You getting married in a year?
I mean, yeah, I don't know why I said like a year. You have like a long relationship with the person you haven't farted until marriage. Like, I don't know. Like, I actually would be like trauma. Like, I would feel so anxious knowing like I haven't farted yet because I just feel like there have definitely been some like big ones that like they definitely have missed out on, and I feel like they need to. It's almost like it's like kind of primal in a way where it's like like Nick peeing on like the couch downstairs in Marcus territory. It's like. Having your significant other being able to like take your fart and still be able to be like, I love you is like a powerful thing. And I feel like you need a fart before marriage if you want a successful relationship. Mm-hmm. So I think
you ever gone gassy in front of a bad bitch?
Oh, oh hell yeah. Oh hell yeah. Dude, it's the worst.
It actually happened to me.
Really? When was it?
It happened to me. It was not too long ago. It was when I was in the U.S. There was someone that I was like, "Guy, this person's very attractive," and dude, my stomach was going on, and I was like, "Oh man, dude." Now I'm like, I just got like gassy zoned. You know what I mean? Like I'll never make it out of this situation. Like she'll forever see me as like
the gassy guy,
the little gas ball.
Hey, you're a little gas ball, aren't you? You're my little gas ball. But then maybe you should have just let it out, and then. She would have been like, what if she was like, damn, like, that smells good. What would you have done then?
She would have been like, I respect that shit. Like, that's real as hell.
Like, word.
You real as hell. And then she lets one rip. And then I'm like, oh, that's fucking gross.
And then like, I thought girls didn't fart. And then you fucking leave.
Exactly. Because I just think it would be gross.
It would be. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't get why girls need to fart. Like, they don't. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it's a guy thing to do. Leave that to the men, women.
Your girlfriend farts, that's your boyfriend.
Dude, that's like 100K like tweet. You need to tweet that out. If your girlfriend farts, your boyfriend. 500,000 likes on Jimmy Fallon on fucking Good Mythical Morning.
Listen, I do want to put an underline, ladies out there, no disrespect. Go ahead.
No, for real, you have my respect.
You have my respect. You have my support. Let it go.
But back to Ned Fulmer.
I mean, okay, here's the thing is, right, if anyone out of them were to cheat, it would be Ned.
Yeah, it would.
He had evil. He had evil in his eyes.
And the fact that he talked about his wife too much kind of like sussed it out already. Like, I feel like if you're like, we get it, you love your wife. Like, I feel like most people would assume if you have a wife, you love them. But like, to always be constantly like, I love my wife, I love my wife, I love my wife. It's like, do you not love your wife? Because I feel like you're kind of overcompensating for the fact that maybe you don't, and maybe you have a relationship with a coworker, which is also crazy. That shit's insane. That like it was a coworker.
Ugh, a lot of that is just like
sticky.
Ugh, I don't want any of that. You know what I mean? Like, I hope you don't cheat on your wife with a coworker.
No, I don't hope that on anyone.
Because that would be me. You'd be cheating on your wife with me if that.
And then we that's the awkward thing is like, then it wouldn't be like, oh, Hoover's removed. We would like release a podcast and be like, we're in this together now. Okay, like fuck my wife now. She's gone. I'm now gay with Aksually.
People would eat that shit up though. They'd be like, because it would be gay. They'd be like, this is slay.
Yeah, they'd be like, this is camp. You cheat on your wife with another dude that's on your podcast.
Exactly.
Like literally, they'd be like, mother, father. I'm like, yeah.
the Hooverr is so mother for that.
You know what's crazy? I found this out the other day. I was written by a woman. I was written by women. I wasn't written by a man.
How'd you find that out?
Like DNA testing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have the ability to find that out.
Wow, it's getting really specific.
Yeah, well.
So who was the woman?
She was like an old time lady, gal, I'll say.
I was written by Meryl Streep.
Really? What the hell? That's actually a pretty cool author.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah, she hasn't the thing is, like, I only found out like maybe like a few years ago, and I don't really have any way of reaching her and to let her know that she wrote me.
She doesn't even know that she wrote you?
Well, the thing is, like, you kind of like you write a little something, and then it goes off into the universe.
Oh, I forget that's how
that was me. She wrote something, and then it went off into Estonia and created this child with a huge head.
Dude, that was both of us. We both have fucking big heads. But do you think Meryl Streep would actually come to Estonia and visit?
Who knows? Maybe she's already been.
Dude.
She went. She felt energy.
Scenes if she's in Estonia.
Be honest, right?
I will.
You have a child, right?
Okay.
And you see it for the first time, and it has like a huge head. I
would be like, that's definitely my child. It's actually it's funny how much like I wouldn't even say like I had any bullies. My biggest bully was always just my family. Like my family was always bring up the fact that I had a big head. Like, look at him. Like, even in the baby photos, like, look at him. He has such a big head. And so then, like, I was always so, like, hyper aware of the fact that I had a big head. Where then one time I was in school and this kid sat behind me. And it's funny that, like, I was able to pick up on this. But I just knew that because of my big head, he couldn't see the front of the class. And, like, he couldn't see, like, what the teacher was writing down. So then I just turned around and I'm like, hey, like, do you want to switch seats? I feel like you can't see. And he's like, yeah, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I cannot see anything at all. And I was like, I'm so sorry. So then I would always want to go to the back of the classroom to avoid having people be like, this guy has such a big head. Like, I can't see anything over him.
Oh my God. That's like, that's serious.
Oh yeah. I have a big head. Like, it's like.
We need to.
Go ahead.
Do you want me to help you somehow?
Yeah. I wish I could shrink it a little bit. Like, I'm not joking.
I would honestly,
it's hard to find hats.
No, I feel that. Me and you, I think we both have the same problem. Like Jack Manifold and Brian, and you would look at that guy and you'd be like, that guy must have a big head, right? He took one of my hats and he put it was like a cap with like the adjustable back. Yeah. And when he put it on, when it was like suited to me, he looked like a little boy wearing my hat. He literally looked like son put on dad's hat. That's so cute. And then when he adjusted it and I tried putting it back on, it literally sat on top of my head. Like it just wouldn't go down.
I know, that's literally like the same thing with my hats. Like I have like 3 hats over to the side. I have to, first of all, it's sad. I can't do adjustable hats anymore. Like, first of all, my hair, like, it's so like dense that like if I try to even put it on, like it adds an extra layer of like thickness of my head. And then on top of that, since I had to give up on adjustable normal hats, like any single time I see a cool hat, can't get it. The only hats that I can get are these like hats that are like MLB hats where you can put it on and it's like a fitted cap, but it has like a rubber band, so like it's a bit flexible.
Right, right. You got a little bit of wiggle room.
But not even that. I don't get like, it's not like, oh, that's like you can get like the normal sizes of those. I have to get a fucking 3XL of that, and there's like 3 companies that have like logos with it, and like it's Detroit, New York, and the Cubs. And so those are the only 3 hats I can ever get because they're the only ones that like I can actually wear. And it's like, it's been a problem my whole life, and I'm just becoming like not a hat person. I've accepted defeat.
Yeah. I'm a hat guy, but it is kind of annoying sometimes because when you order online, it arrives and it's like, oh, this is just not going on.
Yeah.
It's just not, it isn't happening. But that's, the beautiful thing about big heads is just a lot of big thoughts and big ideas come out of them. So
that's what Mama always said.
That's yeah, exactly. that's what you gotta kind of embrace. I mean, I had a big, head when I was born. Lord help my mother. Must have been hard for her.
Did your mother get a C-section?
No. She just did that.
Damn.
Which is honestly insane. Like, look at me. That's insane.
dude, look at me. Like, I had to be a C-section baby. I was huge. I don't know, like, what it was. Like, God was just like, this guy's gonna be huge. And my mom had to get a C-section.
I was a very big baby too. I remember my mom would always bring up my weight when I was born. I don't remember what it is anymore, but I remember she would always bring it up. She'd be like, did you know you weighed this much? I'm like, yes, mother, you brought it up yesterday.
You used to weigh this much as a baby. You know that? I'm like, yeah. But it's...
like the olden times when babies were born and they would be like sacrificed into a volcano?
Yeah, I do remember that. That was actually pretty crazy.
And then I kind of looked like... When I was born, I looked like I was kind of like made for that. Like I was sent for that
sacrifice?
Purpose, but nobody does that anymore. Yeah. I had like fucking bright red hair, and I looked like a little goblin the way I was looking all the time. I was like, disgusting.
No, me as a baby was like, first of all, what's interesting about my birth that like I don't know exact details on, but I was I was a big baby, and I technically was supposed to be... what's crazy is because I was born January 8th. I was supposed to kind of be born in December. So I could have been a 2000 kid. But instead, apparently my mom claims that I didn't want to come out. And then I like... that's bullshit. I wanted to come out. And...
You're a little mommy's boy. You didn't want to leave.
I know. I don't know why. I wanted to fucking get out of there and get going with my life. But... apparently I didn't come out until January 8th by C-section. Like I couldn't have just come out, and so they had to get a C-section, and they took the baby out. And, now I'm here today. Bigger baby than usual.
I don't know about you, but I sometimes wish I had a summer birthday or like closer to summer birthday. You know what I mean?
Dude, it used to be the coolest fucking thing. Like, did you all ever have this at your school? Because during my school, it would usually be like, okay, we would celebrate every single person's birthday, like at lunch maybe, and be like, look, it's Jack's birthday today, and then we'd be like, happy birthday, and then that'd be that. But then on the last day of school, since there were kids that were going to have birthdays and they wouldn't be there, they just had like a big birthday party, and we're like, you're going to celebrate everyone's birthday that's like not going to be here. And so they had their own big birthday party.
Stuff like
and
that.
I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I got like a happy birthday at fucking lunch, and they got like a whole party. Like, they literally would bring in cake, and I was like, this is bullshit. I wish I had a fucking summer birthday. But now I kind of like being at the beginning of the year. Like, January 8th is like, it's pretty cool.
I will say, I spent one of my birthdays in the psych ward. And I will say it topped all my birthdays. It topped like all the school ones, I would say.
What did you do at the psych ward?
Well, basically, here's the thing: is I was able to like leave. They were just you can go leave for the day, like go do a restaurant. I went home and watched No Fuckers.
That actually is like the top birthday. Then I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you can ever top that. Watching no fuckers at the psych ward.
I went home and I watched a no fuckers commentary video. Then I got sushi with my mother.
Oh, that's sweet.
And then I came back and my mom was like, well, we need to like bring some cakes to the psych ward.
Oh.
So then she bought 2 cakes and I brought them to the, oh, actually, no, when she came to pick me up from it, that's when she brought the cakes. So everyone was having cake while I was leaving. And then when I came back at night, it was like I was coming home like a war hero. Everyone was like, yo, thanks for the cake, man. That was so cool. Like everyone that was kind of like tweaking like the day before, everyone was like kind of losing their mind. Everyone was fucking chill. Everyone was like fucking hanging out, being like, yo, man, that's so fucking like sick that you did that. I appreciate that. I was like, I didn't even do it. That was my mother.
Aww. You were literally like the hero. You just fucking, you calmed the storm with just some cake. But that was like, that like being able to bring cake like to your friends for like a party, like something about it is like, you feel so like badass. You're like, this is my fucking birthday cake. I want you all to eat it. And you're like, thank you so much. This is so good. Because I remember like...
Everyone's very like grateful.
Yeah, like I remember bringing in cookie cake to school and like...
Ooh, cookie cake.
Dude. Find me an excuse to get a cookie cake and I'll do it. Like, I remember bringing in the cookie cake and kids would like fucking act like I like brought in like... I don't even like I brought in like $1 million. So like fucking freaked out and like, he's got cookie cake. And even knowing like my friend was going to bring in cookie cake. Like I was like, dude, I know I got to fucking be in that cookie cake line immediately at lunchtime so I can get a fucking slice. Because I was like a cookie cake fiend. Like I just loved cookie cake so much where I was like, if my fucking friend had cookie cake, I got to be like first in that line and get the biggest slice. And oh my God, like being able to, like getting anything for like a birthday at lunch just felt like I was like it was like the best day on earth. So it felt like a prison where like you just had this one lunch and you had like barely anything, but then some kid would like bring in like, or maybe like cupcakes. Like this one kid brought in cupcakes, and dude, like it felt like peace on earth was actually real.
Oh, that's fucking amazing. That's actually, I know exactly how that feels. Cookie cake is just, it invokes like a feeling. You know what I mean? It makes people hold hands. It makes everybody sing and dance. It's like a drug.
It is,
really
dude.
is. It's
like like even now, like right now, like I'm feeling more happy just even thinking about cookie cake. I'm like, dude, cookie cake just sounds so good. Like the world needs more cookie cake.
The way I feel is that I feel like, okay, so I'm going to tell my experience with cookie cake.
Go ahead.
And the first few times I had cookie cake, it was from this lady who is one of my mom's oldest friends. I think they've been friends since they were kids. Shout out to that lady, man. I have so much respect for that lady. I feel like she always respected me. You know what I mean? Like, I was a kid that came from like a rough upbringing a little bit. And the coolest thing was when you kind of met adults where you realize like, okay, this adult kind of understands and respects that.
Yeah.
So they kind of like, they take you a little bit more seriously. They have like a normal conversation with you. They don't really baby you. That was her, man. Like respect to her. And she's just like, the crazy thing is like, she doesn't really do like anything food related for a living. She works at like a glasses shop, a glasses store. I always go and get my glasses from her store.
You get a discount?
Yeah. I mean, she usually like when I get my eyes checked, I don't have to pay for it because she'll like waive the fee. It's kind of cool.
That's pretty baller.
It's pretty cool. And she makes a goddamn killer cookie cake. Like whenever it would be her daughter's birthday, we would roll up and there would just be a fucking crazy ass cookie cake right there, ready to be consumed. And it's like, you could have as many pieces as you like. She doesn't mind. She just wants everybody to be happy. It was a goddamn heaven. And I will never be able to thank that woman enough.
I mean, I'm sorry, Sean Evans, the new GOAT title is her. Because I feel like
we're literally.
Because like, now that I'm thinking about it, as a kid, I used to be actually such a fucking fiend for cookie cake that like I used to beg for like more than one slice. For even my own, like, another thing is, as a kid, I didn't like understand like I had manners, but I didn't fully understand manners sometimes. And sometimes I was like, dude, I need a second slice of cookie cake. And like, well, other kids in the class haven't had their slice. I'm like, dude, they're not going to fucking eat it. Like, let me get a second slice. I used to beg. And the fact that you're able to have more than one slice of cookie cake, I mean, that's pretty crazy.
It was privilege.
That's privilege right there.
I'll tell you, man. One of these years, like you got to come to Estonia when it's party time with her. I'm sure you can come along. You can have as much of a cookie cake as you
Dude,
like.
you better make me my own cookie cake because I'm going to eat the whole damn thing. Can you imagine I just show up to fucking like Estonian family? I'm like, hey, and then they have a cookie cake and I just eat the whole thing. I'm like, oops, sorry.
It's really funny because right now I'm talking with my friend Owen and James.
Oh my God.
About them coming to Estonia for Christmas because none of us really have like family plans for Christmas. So we're thinking about just like doing a little friends Christmas moment.
Oh my God. You actually need to record that one too. You could have like a little Christmas or no, you should do Secret Santa.
Oh, that would be actually fun. Yeah.
That would be fun.
That would be really fun. Yeah, I'm kind of in a phase now where I really want people to kind of come to Estonia because I have my own place. I can house people. I can feed them. I can take care of them. I want to show people where I'm from. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like that conversation we had with Drew at the lake house where I was like telling people, it's like, I need you people to like see Estonia. Like I need you guys to come here and like meet Estonians so you can understand how weird it is sometimes.
I feel like that's the same with like a lot, like even with me, I feel like being able to see where like somebody was raised or like see the family in which they were raised in, like I feel like it helps explain a lot of like who that person is or like who they are now.
It really does.
And like, especially with my family, like I feel like I like 100% the way I am today is because of the fact that like my whole mom's family that like I spend the most time with in Kentucky, like it's just kind of like how I am where like every single time I was there, this would fucking like, it's like a roast session. And it is like fucking make fun of every, like they'd make fun of things or like just be cracking jokes. And that's why I'm like always so like noticeable of things of other people. Because like, if I sit down at the dinner table and I don't like, like if I'm not saying anything, then I'm just going to be like cooked for either like having like not a haircut or like, oh, like what are you doing now? Are you on YouTube? Are you a big celebrity now? And it's like, oh yeah, you know, definitely doing my thing.
A lot of my family does the same shit, except a lot of times when they say stuff like that, it doesn't make any sense because, so like something that someone told me once is like, oh, I can tell you're a part of this family because your teeth, when you try to eat soup, it'll leak out through your teeth. And I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah, what the hell?
What do you mean? Like, will you, like, it didn't make any sense because I'm kind of like, do you not like close your lips when you're eating soup?
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Like, do you just eat it like this?
Ooh.
It was just like it was like one of those like old people things where I'm like, you really thought you ate, but like that shit makes no sense.
You fucking missed as hell, dude. You fucking thought you had him. That is fucking weird.
Oh man,
it doesn't even make sense.
Old people are bizarre sometimes.
Dude,
but also, I want to develop like a not like a romantic relationship, but a platonic relationship with some old person, and just like kind of like listen to them talk about shit. You know?
Yeah, I think that like old people can be really dope, and I think there are a lot of people out there that like probably like they just don't have a platform to like talk about like anything that's happening in their life. So it's like they might just like die with all these like cool informations and like stories about themselves. But like on the, I'm sorry to go on the flip side, but I was about to say, I'm like, do you think like some old people at a certain age should not be allowed to like vote?
Yes.
Because like I was just thinking, I thought about it the other day, and like it's obviously like a conversation that like some people genuinely have, because it's like you're voting for shit that like you're not going to be around for. And I was like thinking about like the other old people that I've known in my life, where I'm like, some like obviously like my family, like you know, you all can go to the polls and do your thing, but like other people I've met, I'm like they just should not, like you should not be going to like anything to vote in any form or like any matter. Like I don't like, it doesn't make sense for them to fucking vote anymore when like 5 years down the line you're not going to even be around to see the change if anything happens.
The problem is that it's a lot like you put their little old brains that are having trouble adjusting to the reality of the new world. You put that combined with social media and misinformation, and it's like it's hopeless. It's actually hopeless. Like the shit that like my grandmother, okay, here's the thing about my grandmother, right? I have no idea what her belief system actually is, because her beliefs feel like RNG. You know what I mean? Like
I know exactly what you mean.
don't even know how her brain generates half of her points, because some of them some of her points are not even that bad, but I'm kind of like, I don't understand how you came to this. Like,
Yeah.
because then the other point will be like 180 degrees completely the other way, where I'm like, what the fuck?
It's weird. Like, I feel like I generally just feel like all people get confused, like, and manipulated way easier as they get older. And it's like they definitely have some values, but then like they go on Facebook and they see like, oh, Democrats are trying to shoot Donald Trump, and like, so they're trying to do what? And then they get all upset about like shit that's not real. Like that's the biggest thing is like a lot of people just get upset about things that aren't real, and it fuels them to like make real life decisions that like don't exist. And I'm like, they should not be making those decisions when they are thinking like this. Like, it's insane.
No, literally. So like, it's scary. It's scary seeing someone like go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah,
because it's like you can't really do anything about it. You kind of just have to watch them go through that journey and kind of throw your, because you're not going to convince them. You're not going to change their mind. Especially when they're like on the internet reading like, oh my God, dude, fucking, they're putting dead babies in chicken nuggets. And it's like, how are you gonna convince them that is not real? Because that's such an absurd thing to claim. And like, how am I gonna counter that? Like, my only counter is that no, they're not putting dead babies in the chicken nuggets, because what the fuck? Why?
Yeah.
You know?
And it is just pointless. I feel like certain people just need to realize that, like, these old farts will die pretty soon, and like you just shouldn't waste your time. Like, I remember seeing TikToks about like people like being like, yeah, like I can't believe like my dad doesn't understand pronouns. I'm like, well, I mean, like, they should, but they're fucking old, they're stupid, so they're, of course they're gonna be like, what the fuck is a they, them? Like, their head's gonna explode if you try to explain what a pronoun is. Like, you shouldn't try to focus on that, because like they're gonna fucking die in like 2 years from like a sneeze.
True. The future is now, old man. All right.
Woke moralist.
Woke moralists.
Up yours, woke moralist. You'll die one day.
It's just, I don't know, but I mean, I guess this has been an episode of Cool Dog. We're back.
We're back, baby. We're better than ever. Don't forget. Don't count.
I have some guests planned. We're gonna be trying to get on a lot more guests now. I have some good ones in my mind, and some people have even asked to come on, and I want to use this end of the episode to just send a big thanks to everyone that has supported Cool Dog in the past and has been riding with us through the hiatus. Mm-hmm. It's been very deeply appreciated. I always get a lot of messages about people asking for new episodes, because a lot of people apparently fall asleep to this, which is very sweet.
That's awesome. And
I appreciate that very much. Just, to have people listen to us, it's a privilege. And we're going to do our best to give you some good content in the future. So
thank you. We love you.
Thank you, guys. See you on the flippity flop on the next episode of the coolest podcast in the world. And Cool Dog.
And do.
Ew.